Namaste, my name is Holly Semenoff, and today we will be channeling messages straight from Source. So I will go ahead and just allow the channel to open and move right into it. We are all present here now, and as we speak as one, connecting with the essence of you personally. We also connect, again, universally, for what is small and what is individual is also big and connected. Everything has a ripple. Everything connects in this universe. And the smaller you go, the more you realize this. Meaning, deep down, even beyond the chemical makeup of your world, you will see that everything is connected through thoughts and emotions just as much as through spirit. Now, this is an update for humanity. Humanity includes you as an individual expression of your essence, your soul, as well as the connection of one, all choosing into this experience as uniquely human. Everyone here is human. Everyone here has many hues of the man, for there are many different distinctions between personalities, between the way each person chooses to show up. Knowing this, it is imperative at this time that you are aware of your choice in how you choose to show up. This is the power of free will in the awareness that some point in your life you have the ability to choose how you show up. And this free will does not end in the human experience. Obviously, depending on your perspective, you may see this life as the beginning and the end, or you may see this life as a blink of an eye, and you realize that your spirit, your soul, is infinite. We can talk to both people whom have these awarenesses, meaning if you believe that this is the only life you have, then we ask you, keep listening, for this has the same power as those who believe that the spirit is infinite. It is all about the power of choice. Now, when you're born into this earthly experience, you choose your family. Again, depending on how you perceive your spirit, you will see you have free will and choice before you come here. Now, if you do not believe this and you feel you are just born into a family, then think that way. But somewhere along the ways of the life you live right now, you are given a choice of how you choose to show up, no matter the circumstances in which you are born into. Recognize that the power of your choice not only affects your life, but it affects the life of all around you in this immediate time, the present time, and in the future, of how people will continue to feel your presence because of the choices you make. Let us give you an example of the great people in the past that are still affecting humanity. These are the people such as Gandhi. Gandhi affected the entire earth by his presence in power and in choice, in choosing another way, and in not giving in to what was given him or the label that was placed upon him. Recognize this, please. It is very important to see that you, as an individual here, have the power to move mountains, as they say, or to move people in a positive way. And It is your free will and choice, how you choose to show up in every minute, that will have the greatest effect, not only on your life and what you want to create for you, but on humanity as a whole. Take, for example, anyone who is born into this earthly experience, into a family that can be labeled as emotionally abusive. These people who are born into this story, this family that is very real in this human experience, have one of two choices. When they grow, they can feel a victim to their circumstances, and they can continue to stay in that victimhood and not change the story. For when they grow up and have a family of their own, they continue that process of being emotionally abusive, and that is their ripple. Or, on the other hand, someone can grow through the experience and choose something different for their family because of what they experience. They do not want that, not only for themselves, but for their family. So they are hyper aware not to be emotionally abusive, and they are quite supportive and loving. You see, all humans here have a human experience. Everyone has stories. There are similar themes, and obviously there are different details. But knowing this, build your free will and power of choice to know that what you do matters. It matters to matter itself. Matter may seem very solid, but in fact, it is very much vibration. What you put out there matters. You may not always see the effects of your choices, yet you will on the other side. You will on an energetic level if you so open yourself up to see that the positive change in the world is going to come from people making the smallest changes in their individual lives. Again, back to the story. I was emotionally abused, so I do not choose that, and I choose to show up to be supportive and compassionate to those around me. You may see that this will only affect a few around you, but those few become many. Those many become thousands. Those thousands become millions, and those millions become billions. This is the truth, and you must feel and know your ripple effect is extremely powerful in this moment of time, especially with people being so strung out. They are very tightly wound. The reason for this is because not everyone feels safe in this world. Obviously, the human experience brings this up for everyone. Yet, right now, there is a theme. The theme is not feeling safe in the world. When you don't feel safe, you feel alone. You feel that no one cares and you must fight for yourself. This, in fact, is a very weakening energy, and it is very fractal. It separates people. What we ask of you is be aware that community is being kind to one another. It does not have to look like creating a grand scale of building hundreds of houses together with like-minded people. Community is about exchanging energy from compassion, from love, from kindness, from people that are close to you in your neighborhood and those you meet on another continent. This is what matters most. Be kind, be compassionate. Not everyone sees through your eyes. And this is the beautiful thing about the hues of humanity, the experiences that are unique to each individual. The expression of the spirit, the soul, embody is your availability in this human experience. Yet recognize you don't have to complicate it. Be kind. Be aware that everyone's experiences are so different. You can take the same story and there are different details, but the choice and the free will to recognize that what you put out into the world, to those closest to you, through your power of free will and choice, is what matters most. Now, these small acts of kindness will ripple out, and they will empower again the many, the thousands, the millions, the billions. You are stronger together. Together, you will move mountains. And it is the smallest steps of kindness that will bring this about. Knowing this, continue your journey and always be open to supporting where you can, because it is the smallest acts that change the world. Again, it is allowing yourself to be fully present, to recognize that humanity as a whole is greater together. And in doing this, you will also allow yourself to receive great insight, inner sight, that will show you things that your eyes physically do not even pick up on, but that will show you things beyond the veils of the human sight, to see that there is more than meets the eye, always. And in connecting to the energy of kindness, you allow yourself to connect to a higher vibration that will guide you. Some call this intuition, some the sixth sense, and there are many other religious labels to it. We simply wish to keep it spiritual, as in an inner voice that knows beyond the small picture, the bigger picture. As you choose to be kind, you will recognize that as people pray, as they meditate, as they do ceremony, so many things to shift and change the world into connection, into a higher vibration, into love, that you as an individual have the greatest power by simply showing up in kindness, and to be a recipient of kindness as well. Saying this, do not be hard on yourself, for everyone in this human experience can wave and flow. What is important is that you recognize the smallest acts will change the world. For people, seeing one being kind gives one courage to show up in kindness as well, and to not feel alone. This is the most important thing at this time. You are not alone. Recognize this, and as you extend kindness, it will find you. Do not be attached to your kindness. Give it because you can. In attachment of saying to yourself, I am kind, so it must come back to you. This is an egotistical way of giving kindness. Be kind because you can, and we promise that kindness will find you, and you will find the connection that will continue to give you all strength to stand up as one, for we are shifting the world from the bottom up. It is strength in humanity as coming together to be connected and recognizing young, old, black, white, brown, yellow, woman, man, child. It doesn't matter. All of you can come together, and you are coming together. Do not allow the ones who are put in the corner and that are screaming to get through to the masses that they are a part, that they actually are a part. You are not. It is time to wake up. See your power. See yourself as the change. For when you choose to create a life that you love, you create a ripple effect to create a world that loves you back. Recognize this. It is the smallest acts, again, that create the biggest waves. This is the butterfly effect. Trust in yourself that the goodness of the heart is the long term that will last. The small things of getting ahead, of sacrificing others so that one may live, so that one may suck all the resources, is not long term. It will eventually destroy itself, because in fact, its own energy is sacrificial, and in the end, it will end up sacrificing itself. Feel yourself in thriving, in co-creation, in building together a world you love, and know the power of choice and free will is yours, and you will create what you desire. That is the power of the human heart. Know that as you do this, your ripple will be felt. Trust this. Again, trust yourself, your goodness, your kindness. People will come together. Take small steps and recognize kindness will bring you together. And that is the beginning of the community of the world. For now, we bid you farewell. So a little bit about what I was seeing throughout that channeling is, again, the extreme distinction with how kindness really creates community, because I'm literally seeing a flow, like a bond getting created. So when you think of community, you really think of a bonding, and it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to have, hundreds of houses coming together to create this huge community that is like-minded. That's a beautiful thought. It's a beautiful vision, but it's actually quite simple. Just be kind. Let that flow of kindness and caring and compassion create community. And you can create it anywhere, just with those simple acts of kindness, and also that will and that power of seeing. There's a lot of stories in all of our lives. We've all lived lives. We can tell stories. Sometimes there's similar themes, but obviously different details. And what it really comes down to is all the stories and the cards we've been dealt. Eventually, at some point in our lifetime, we then have choice of how we want to show up. What that means is, as a child, you can think, how can that child have choice? Eventually in their life, they will grow up. And as you grow up, then you have more power, more will to create change in your life. So embracing that and knowing that we do have the power to create what we want. And it is all quite simple. Just be kind and know that you have the power. You have free will. So thank you for joining us. And till we meet again, namaste.